The reverberations from the Israel-Hamas war are causing increased political tension at one of the world's biggest musical competitions. There is heightened security ahead of this weekend's Eurovision Song Contest final in Sweden, after Israeli contestant Eden Golan was voted through to compete for the top prize. This was the scene yesterday outside of the arena where the competition is taking place. Tense confrontations between police and pro-Palestinian demonstrators. Thousands of people took to the streets to protest Israel's inclusion in the competition amid the country's ongoing war in Gaza. And more protests are expected throughout the weekend. Anna Cunningham is in our London bureau tracking the details of this story this morning. So, Anna, the semifinals took place last night despite those massive protests. How did they play out amid those tense political atmosphere there that we saw?
Yeah, morning, Marianne. Semi-final time last night, and certainly all eyes were on the Israeli entry. I think the question that people were watching and waiting to see if there were going to be protests actually inside that venue in Malmo. The Israeli singer Eden Golan, was she going to get booed? That did happen in the rehearsals for the semi-finals. But actually, in the end, she did receive louder clapping, although there were still some boos heard. But I think the images that we've been seeing, it was really a focus on what was going on outside the venue. Those voices there were certainly louder, those pro-Palestinian demonstrators that had gathered. They had actually marched through Malmo calling for a boycott of Eurovision because they just are not happy that Israel has been allowed to compete. Protesters have been saying that it should not have gone ahead because of what's been happening in Gaza, the rising concern over civilian deaths and the worsening humanitarian situation in Gaza as the war between Israel and Hamas now enters its 7th month. Interestingly, there were elsewhere in Malmo some smaller pro-Israeli gatherings. People there were saying that they were out to celebrate music and not hate. And there was a late-night news conference. Now, Marianne, it did get a bit tense when Eden Golan, the Israeli singer, was asked if she thought that she was risking the safety of others by taking part. Have a listen to what her response was.
If you want to answer, please.
I think we're all here for one reason and one reason only, and the EBU is taking all safety precautions to make this a safe and a united place for everyone. And so I think it's safe for everyone, and we wouldn't be here for any other reason.
That was Eden Golan, the Israeli singer, and she has been quite determined to carry on in this music contest and also stick with that tagline, really, which is the tagline of Eurovision this year, United by Music. Marianne.
That the finals are this weekend and protests are also expected this weekend. So what is expected there?
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more security today and tomorrow. More protests, more demonstrations, pro-Palestinian and also pro-Israeli. We do know for now that the Israeli singer has actually been confined to her hotel room, other than being allowed to go to rehearsals. There are armed guards stationed now at her hotel. But I think we are going to see more demonstrations, the finals of Eurovision taking place in Malmo Saturday night.
Thanks for this, Anna. That's Anna Cunningham in London this morning.